Back in 2022, a young Minnesota man happened to be on private property, shooting a couple of guns he'd legally put together from 80% lowers. A nosy deputy asked to see the guns, noticed they didn't have serial numbers, decided the young man must have altered them himself, and what followed was a 3-year battle against felony gun charges. Now, those charges have finally been dropped. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's video forecast is sunny with a chance of toddler chaos, which actually I guess is pretty typical here. Now today's story is a happy ending to a case that I covered way back in 2023. I'm so happy for Matthew Anderson and his mom Sarah, and if you guys are watching this one, congratulations. It's been a hot minute since I covered this case, so I'll go into a bit of background here, the crazy battle that has happened since my original video, and what happened to finally make the state drop the charges. But first, this video is brought to you with the help of the Attorneys on Retainer program from the Attorneys for Freedom. I had the pleasure of finally meeting some of the attorneys on staff face-to-face at Goals in Knoxville, and they were great folks. They are, to my knowledge, the only law firm that specializes in self-defense incidents. Unlike your typical insurance plans, a call to their hotline puts you on the phone with an actual lawyer rather than an insurance adjuster who can give you on-the-spot legal counsel and start working on your case right away. It also means that they don't have the same fine print as insurance companies, so their only requirements are that the incident happened after you signed up and that you reasonably acted within good faith. They cover everything from felonies to misdemeanors, appeals, and even bail bonds, even if you were in a gun-free zone, were a prohibited person, whatever the circumstance. And this year they've also added a ton more features to their plan, including coverage on red flag hits. So switch over from your existing self-defense coverage today by heading on over to my link down in the description and using code LIBERTYDOLL to get $50 off your individual sign-up fee. Alright gang, so as the story goes, in May 2022, Matthew, who goes by middle name Walker, was, I believe, 21 at the time. He was target shooting with a friend on private property in Shelburne County, Minnesota, when a neighbor down the road heard the shooting and decided to call the police. A sheriff's deputy showed up, realized that everything was on the up and up, but then for whatever reason asked to see the guns. He noticed that the ARs did not have serial numbers, and even though privately made firearms are not required to be serialized, which Walker told him, Walker was hit with 2 felony charges for violating Minnesota's law on unserialized firearms. State law merely says that you can't remove or alter a serial number, and these 2 guns never had serial numbers to mess with. Didn't matter. Now, Walker's mom has kept me in the loop a bit, and overall there wasn't much to report until now. Court hearings got pushed, the state tried to bar Walker's expert witness from testifying, the judge canceled the trial, then opened another hearing, the court asked for serial numbers that didn't exist, Walker's team tried to get the case dismissed because those serial numbers didn't exist, and thus the law they accused him of breaking didn't even apply to him, and then it all got kicked down the road because a similar case hit the Minnesota Supreme Court. In April, Walker and his family were told nothing could happen in his case until this other case was decided. This other case was also from 2022, from just a couple of months before Walker's. In February of that year, a man was in a single-car rollover accident. When a state trooper responded to the accident and found the car literally on its roof, the cop, in the process, found an AR mag and asked the man if he had any guns in the car. The owner, Logan Vagel, admitted to having a pistol. So the cop searched the car. He found a privately made Glock clone without a serial number and charged Vagel, even though, again, Minnesota's law does not apply to or even address homemade firearms. It's basically a carbon copy of federal law, which does not apply to privately made firearms. Vagel tried to get the charges thrown out on the basis that the cop didn't have probable cause to search the car. He was not challenging the constitutionality of the law, but the district court surprisingly raised the issue and said the law was unconstitutionally vague and dismissed the case on those merits. The state appealed, and this time around, Vagel's lawyers argued that the Minnesota law doesn't apply to privately made firearms. The appeals court ruled in favor of the state, saying that the law applies to all guns equally. Vegal appealed to the state Supreme Court, who, on August 6th, ruled that the law only applied to guns requiring a serial number under federal law, which, again, does not include DIY guns. This was amazing news for Mr. Vegal and Walker and his family. The state officially dropped the charges against Walker, citing State v. Vegal as the reason. So, after a 3-year fight, a huge congratulations is in order, though it never should have gotten this far to begin with because, again, the law doesn't apply, and the state spent 3 years and taxpayer dollars arguing that it applied. All that being said, while the legal fight is done, the legal fees are not. A 3-year legal fight has racked up quite a bit of bills, but the Give, Send, Go that Sarah started up way back when all this first happened, is still live, and I will link that down in the description. By the way, I scrolled through some of the more recent donations and recognized a couple names in there, so you guys are awesome for helping this family out, even when we didn't have a lot of news about it. All right, I apparently filmed this one fast enough that we did not get a streak of 3-year-old going through the background. And you know what? It's not often that we get happy endings to these stories on this channel, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. You guys know the drill for all of the algorithm things, the like, share, and subscribe if you are new here, ring that notification bell, and drop a comment down below. And as always, thanks for tuning in, stay safe out there, and happy shooting.